Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this program again. Today we are in the fourth chapters of the section talking about Chinese five techniques. Five techniques. Five techniques. When we say it's a mountain, mountain is a kind of translation. In fact, the mountain the word includes quite a lot of things, including some of the spiritual matters, and also some of the environmental science, and some geology, etc. And then sun, and then mountain, and then medicine, and then faith, counseling, faith, and then judgment, and also face reading, and faith reading. Five techniques in China. So after the five techniques in China, of course, they developed and they become more and more to get more and more technique, and also more and more different kind of skills that help to improve what? To improve your faith. To improve your faith, because we have already come across our six aspects of faith, right? In the former section, talk about what is 666 area. It's the reputation, it's the wealth, it's the health, it's the sentiment, it's the wisdom, and also it's your characters, the 6 areas. So today I'm going to introduce you the one of the techniques included in one of the skills included in the 5 technique mountains, and they are called environmental science. And the more commonly known, they call it the Feng Shui. Feng Shui is a Chinese word, of course. It indicates in English, it indicates wind and water. Of course, if you look at the environment, examine its condition, whether they're suitable for human living or whether the advantages of the people, you have not only pay attention to the wind and water, but also to some of the different kinds of focus of attention, right? Focus attention. So Feng Shui is a commonly known name, so I also use it sometimes so as to facilitate your understanding. And originally, around 2,500 years ago, in our North-South dynasty, we call it, we have already got quite a detailed elaboration of Feng Shui. At that time, there's a propagation they call the Berry classics. Berry classics means when people die, you got to find a good place for them to live on. Of course, they're not living; they already died. They find a good place for them to stay there, and they make use of the environmental factors, and they help to enhance your followers, because they're your ancestor, your followers, and the son and the grandson, etc., about their faith, so that they improve their faith. It is called Feng Shui. Feng Shui. So after its development down to from North-South dynasty, down to Tang dynasty, down to Song dynasty, and he has matured and become a studies for environmental factors favorable to human living. Right? So it's for the not the people who are dead, but the people who are alive. Then when you are alive, what environment is suitable for you, how you can improve your own fortune, etc. They call it commonly known Feng Shui. So from Tang dynasty onwards, from to Song dynasty, etc., the Feng Shui discipline has matured, and they have become a quite comprehensive way of looking at how the environment can be an advantages to people. So they will examine what? They examine the landscape. The landscape outside your residence. The landscape, one area of focus of attention. Second is the weather, is the climatic factors, and also the magnetic condition, as well as the wind and water, etc. All these dynamic things, they pay attention to all these dynamic things, and they will have another school of attention to see whether all this dynamic thing will affect you. Okay, so one is the landscape, the other one is the dynamic conditions like weather, magnets, like water, wind. All these two main factors will be examined in details and give you an advice how you can make some enhancement on that, and also how you can make use of the environment to increase your well-being, to enhance your well-being. Okay. So today, I will introduce a book. They call it 堪舆术, written by Professor Wang Yude, because it is a detailed description of the history of Feng Shui, its publication, the basic theories, what's the skills, and also what the technique and the tools for doing a good type of Feng Shui. So it is one of reference. If you want to make a less theoretical and more practical approach, then another book is called 中国风水学, 就是那个 written by 张永杰老师 teacher 张永杰. It is a practical guide to how you can conduct Feng Shui studies and also Feng Shui examination of for the residents. So it is a practical approach, another propagation for your reference. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. Understand some basic about Feng Shui, and if time allows, we will go back to Feng Shui again in the later sections when the chance comes. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.